Here are some nuggets of wisdom only the pros know. If you're performing on stage doing a routine, oftentimes it will help out to remove 1, 2, or 3 cards from the deck. No one will know, and your manipulation will be that much easier. When you're not doing a move, it's best not to hold the deck. If you have to hold the deck, hold it with as few fingers contacting it as possible. Why? Let's say you're going to be doing a set in 5 minutes and you're standing there and you're holding the deck. Well, a lot of bad things are happening. The deck itself is getting hot. Not good. You want a deck at room temperature or even a little cooler at best. And that will lead us to another little pro tip. But regardless, if you have to hold the deck, hold it with as little contact as possible. Best to leave it sitting somewhere where it can just be in the air and be cool, not get sweaty, not get oily. You can really mess up a routine. The deck is perfect, you know your routine is going to go good, but there's a delay, the sound system, something, and you're holding the deck. So don't hold an unboxed deck prior to doing a performance or at any time. It's just going to get hot. Now, a tip related to not getting the deck hot and warm is switching decks. And you don't want to do this blatantly, but there's probably no need to do it secretly either, like with a cold deck switch. But what'll happen, say you're doing a 1-minute routine, and you're doing all these flourishes and XCM moves, and it's all flowing together. The end of the routine, the deck isn't like it was at the beginning. It's hot. Maybe a card or two is sticky. Maybe a card is oiled. Now, there's a lot of natural ways to switch decks. You're done with the performance for one thing, so you could do a closer where you insert the deck into a box, put the deck into your pocket, and then immediately take out an identical deck in the box. You do the same thing without using a box. I very frequently will have a deck in my left coat pocket, and when I'm done with the first routine, or if I feel the deck is getting unruly, I will put the deck in my right coat pocket, do some byplay, just a couple seconds of patter or jokes or whatever. Another thing you do is just keep one card out and do some stuff with one card, and then you casually take the deck out of the other pocket. Nobody will ever know. And since you're not doing card tricks, you're not doing any subterfuge or trying to fool anybody, so no one will know. But don't be afraid to switch decks when the deck gets unruly. And I'll have 10 decks perfectly tuned for a show just in case, and if you're doing walk around, you have to have tons of decks, just plenty of decks ready, and you can just ring them in and nobody cares, nobody knows, particularly between tables. Great idea. You do a table, put the deck in your pocket, pull out the other deck, and just keep rotating decks like that, and you won't suffer from the problems of a hot, sticky, oily deck. One of the things that distinguishes XCM from all other forms of card handling is the number of moves that are performed and the pace at which they are performed. This necessitates routining, which is linking moves in nice, smooth, eye-pleasing ways. And what you want to do is avoid a repositioning of the deck unnecessarily. Now I'm going to give you some basic techniques of linking moves, and your goal is going to be to develop combos, which are 2 moves, runs and riffs, which are 3, 4, 5 moves, and finally routines, which can be as many as 20 or 30 moves in a minute. And it's that pace that necessitates smooth transitions. So, for example, a combo that occurs naturally would be a fan and a close. Now, there's no repositioning of the deck, it just happens naturally. The fan is in position for the close. Now, what are we going to do now as far as linking to the next move? Well, I could do something like put the deck in the other hand, or I could use the deck twirl that we've used to do so. if I was transitioning from hands to table, that same deck twirl allows a smooth transition to the next XCM move on the table. Same with a pickup. Now I'm back ready to do another series of moves. The Charlier Showcase illustrates the transition process because you've got the deck division, then you're in position for the cuts, and then you're in position for the close. You're also in position to go to another series of moves. A very basic technique to link moves is to go from dealing position to the move to dealing position to another move. A lot of moves start from basic XCM grip or just dealing position. So you can do a series of moves that starts from that position and ends in that position. And it's kind of intuitive, but that's why a deck twirl that gets you into XCM position or any move that ends in XCM position, grip or dealing grip, just the basic grip, means that you're ready for the next move and there's no needless repositioning. What you don't want to happen, and you see so many people doing it, and it makes them look like amateurs. They'll take their time to divide the deck and do too much squaring, and then just unnecessary pauses. The rhythm's not right. What you want is a nice flow of moves, and if you can use the transitional elements of deck twirls, there's a lot of different deck twirls, by the way, and they're all very nice and useful, but the one we taught you is great. You want to go from a cut to an arm spread. Just use that deck twirl to get there. So, moves that naturally flow together are great for combos. Everything went together, no repositioning. Moves that begin and end in your dealing position or XCM grip are great because you can go from one move to another all day long. That's why your two-handed cuts are easy to link together because they all begin and end in dealing position. And use those deck twirls, or at least the deck twirl that we taught you so far, to get from one place to the other. It's a good way to either get the deck from one hand to the other, on the table, off the table, and you'll discover and invent other deck twirls that seem to flow with your routine. So if you're doing some type of cut and it closes up and you're in this position, you'll figure out some way to make a smooth transition and take advantage of some type of motion of the deck that looks good, rather than pausing and repositioning the deck, in which case you'll be drowned out by a chorus of boos and people screaming for a refund, and it won't be nice.